Welcome everybody to the first new segment, the Sunday Drive. And this is going to be a monthly segment. We are going to take you on a Sunday drive and we're going to talk to interesting and unique people and go to interesting and unique places in the Kawarthas. And today our very first segment is fitting because we're going to talk to Christina Handley. And not only is she one of the most interesting, unique, and accomplished women that I know, and you are, she also is from my hometown, my favorite town in the Kawarthas, Burnt River. So we'll also get to tour Burnt River as well. But let's start with Christina and sit back, everybody, relax, and enjoy your very first Sunday drive. So this is home.
This is home.
What a beautiful home.
Love it.
So peaceful.
We sort of refer to it as Handley Acres.
You have so much on the go. It's amazing. But the first thing I want to talk about is we are here at your farm in Burnt River.
Yeah.
And you are a full-time farmer.
My husband and I, yes, we are. Been farming. Well, I've been with my husband for 33 years. He's been farming his whole life. Before I met him, I was only into horses. I didn't know anything about a cow, so I was terrified of them. So
really,
that
you'd never know that now.
No. It was just I couldn't read them. I didn't know what they were thinking, or I mean, if it was a horse, it'd be different. But of course, I learned all that, and yeah, so it's been great.
So tell me about your day. So you work this farm every day.
Yeah. So right now it's we're in calving season. We have about 60 cows to calve out. We have I guess about 35 on the ground right now, so another 25 or so to come. It's busy. We start early in the morning. We bed barns. We are actually up all night checking on the cows that are going to calve. We're up every 2 or 3 hours because we don't want anything happening to them. And then we do chores in the morning, which take about 3 hours, I suppose. Bedding barns, make sure everybody's watered, make sure everybody's okay, feeding, and then checking on them all day. You're clearing snow in the winter, you're doing various things, and then chores again in the evening, starts around 4 o'clock and lasts maybe a couple of hours, feeding again and bedding again, and then if there's cows calving, that adds time to your day, but it's all great. I mean, it's all what we love to do.
You must be passionate about it, and you are. What is it about it that was so intriguing for you to actually change your life because you moved from Toronto?
Yeah.
A completely different lifestyle from Toronto to Burnt River. Wow.
Yes.
Couldn't get much different.
Never. I'm always been a country girl at heart. Always loved animals. Always wanted to farm, even as a little girl. So this is my dream come true. I don't know. It's just what I've always wanted to do. I just love being outside in the nature. I don't like being confined. I like being able to just come and go as I please with all the space, and it's wonderful.
And some of your posts on Facebook, you show, the animals and your daily routine, and you seem to have a real connection with the animals here. You mentioned once that the cows come running when you call them.
Oh yeah, they do. When they're out on summer pasture, even in the winter here, we call them, and they know us, they know our voice, and they just come because, we give them oats and treats and salt and everything, so they come running, and I just love it, and they talk back to you when you're talking to them, and we're always around our cattle, we're always working in around them closely, so they trust us and we trust them, and it's just wonderful that way. I just love sort of being accepted into part of their herd, I suppose,
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so anything you want people to know about what you do and about working on a working farm and living on a working farm in this day and age, because it's rare and it's becoming more and more rare.
It is becoming more and more rare. I mean, there's so many farm auction sales because the average age of a farmer, I think they say now, is well into their 60s, and it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of money, and the young people coming up nowadays, they don't want to do it, and I almost can't say as I blame them, because it's a tough life. If you sort of didn't get started earlier on, it's kind of hard to get into, but yeah, it's great. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I never liked the city. I've been up here most of my life, and I just love it. I love the community. I love everything about it.
But this isn't your only interest. You also have a number of other interests and things that you're really good at, and one of them is photography. I love your photography, and it's you photograph your animals, right?
Mainly equines, animals, farm life, agriculture, that type of thing. I've been doing that for about 23 years now, I guess, professionally. I do private photo shoots. I do a lot of shoots for magazines. some advertising campaigns. It's a lot of fun. I just sort of get to shoot what I love and what I know, so I can capture, the animals. I don't know, like what they're thinking or feeling,
do.
or
It's amazing.
I just try to, but I stay with them for quite a long time. Like I can read them and I know when they're going to do things, and I just sort of wait, and I take lots of photos and pick the best one. But I just love doing it. I love waiting for the right moment and capturing it.
And where have some of your photographs been?
Oh gosh, magazines worldwide, advertising campaigns worldwide, calendars, lots of places like that. Yeah.
Right,
It's
from
so
right
exciting.
Here in Burnt River.
From Burnt River, I know. I know, a farm wife in Burnt River. It's fantastic. I'm really excited about it.
It's
I love
amazing.
doing it, yeah.
And how did you get started in it?
My parents were sort of, avid travel photographers, so there was always cameras in the house, and I just always liked taking pictures, because of them, I suppose. I started out, with the little 110 little cartridge camera, and took pictures with that, and evolved over the years to a glorious point and shoot, and then a DSLR and things like that. And there was a horse show at nearby at a farm there was going to be, and I thought, I'm going to go over and take pictures of the horse show. I just love horses and love photography. And
when was that?
It seemed 1996 or 97, and went over there and took pictures for the whole day. And I remember a couple of people approached me and said, do you sell your photos? And I said, well, no, I'm just here, enjoying myself. But that sort of put a little bug in my head, and I thought, I wonder if I could sell photos. And that's sort of really how it all started. Was I just started going to more horse shows and taking pictures of everybody competing and jumping fences, and started selling photos to the competitors, which then led to magazines and things. Like everything just sort of leads to another thing, and that's how it all started.
And how many photographs would you say you sell a year? On average?
I don't, dozens anyway, for sure. Hundreds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really exciting.
It's amazing.
It's slowed down a little bit because I've started into another,
Here, there we go. We're overexposed a little here. Let's try to fix that. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so it slowed down a little bit because you have another project and something else that you're very good at, and that's, we're calling it metal art, but it's kind of unique to you. So tell us about that.
And for some reason, I've always liked working with metal. I remember a girlfriend of mine bought me a shovel that was, had a pattern cut out of it, and it was a water gauge you stuck in your garden. And I just liked that, and I just thought I would like to do that. And so really almost on a whim, I went out and I bought a plasma cutter, which is to cut steel with, and I knew nothing about it. I didn't know how one worked. I'd never used one. I just knew what they were capable of and wanted to do it. So I went and I bought one, and I brought it home and I plugged it in.
What did Boyd say, your husband?
Oh gosh, he thought I was crazy. Of course, he thinks I'm crazy about a lot of things, but I don't know. I just felt like I really wanted to do it, and that's sort of how the photography was too. It was just something I really wanted to do and felt passionate about, and I just started doing it. So I brought the cutter home, and he brought me some scrap from around the farm to cut up, and I just started cutting. I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm self-taught in photography as well, and so self-taught in this metal art, but both are just something that I just really truly love to do. So I want to learn how to do it and be better, and always, I don't know, one up myself all the time somehow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you do. I mean, your work is amazing. We've done a story on it before. But so you also sell your metal art all over.
I ship all over North America. I have a Facebook page that I post every day, or whenever I finish a piece, I just post a photo of it on there, and people love it. I mean, I'm just truly blessed for some reason that people like it and want to buy it, and it's just wonderful. It's just, I didn't expect that. I just wanted to do it, and I just wanted to share what I was doing, and it just turned into something wonderful again. It's just.
Let's talk about a couple of your pieces, because the one that caught my eye and kind of prompted the story that we did was the fuel tank.
Yes.
Which is stunning. It is a stunning piece, and it's now in a gallery, right, in Finland.
Yes. It again, my husband had this old oil tank, and I just said, I want to cut that. Bring it down for me to my shop. Well, my shop. I work outside, but. And so he brought it down, and it took me a long time to sort of figure out what I wanted to do with it. It's sort of like, looking at a blank page. How do you start? Like, what do you do? So I eventually just started, and it just turned into this beautiful piece. It's all intricate and there's a few horses on it and other little details and floral, and it's just,
it is stunning.
I can't believe that it turned out so well.
How long did it take you?
Months.
Months.
Yeah. Of course, I wouldn't work on it steady. I would draw a little bit, and I sketch everything freehand. Then I cut it freehand. So I would sketch a little bit, maybe for an hour or two, and then go and do something else. Probably do something around the farm, and come back to it the next day, and maybe draw a bit more, and erase some that I didn't like, and start over again. And it's yeah. And I'm inspired by everything around me, by the farm and
So
the
much
animals
beauty
and the
here.
nature. Exactly. Yeah. So it's
You seem to be a bit of a perfectionist, though. Are you?
Oh yes.
Yes, because that piece is literally perfect, I would say, and the other ones you've shown me as well.
Yeah.
So does that make it hard for you?
Very difficult. And when I first started into the metalwork and stuff, like with my photography, I'm very particular about everything, like about, if it's focused correctly, if it's exposed correctly, like everything has to be perfect. And when I started into the metal art, I sort of told myself, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, there can be imperfections. It's beautiful too. It's still a struggle every day that I just can't. It's hard to get away from that. Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
And you're right. It is beautiful with some small imperfections.
It is. Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But,
and because it's all done
and other people
freehand,
don't notice.
No.
Like, you probably notice, but we wouldn't notice.
No, you all think it's beautiful.
I do, and you should too.
I do. But it's just, yeah, I see the imperfections, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at accepting it. It's just hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
How far away have you sold your pieces, would you say? You said all over North America, but what's
I would say
furthest? Nunavut. Wow.
Yeah.
And what went to Nunavut?
Some Christmas tree ornaments 2 years ago, and actually the lady who bought those just contacted me yesterday. She's interested in one of my maple leaf cream cans, so I have it out there now. I'm going to take a picture of it so I can send it to her, and so I might have a milk can going to Nunavut, which is just crazy exciting.
It is, and
Yeah.
I love the milk cans. They're very nice too, because you can put lights in
Yes,
those, right? And they make
yeah.
a really nice pattern.
Beautiful pattern, yeah. But it's, all the way up to the East Coast, the West Coast, Texas, like,
And
yeah.
people order, like you said, again and again, right?
Yeah.
Like, once they get their first piece, then they want more,
Yes,
and I can't
yeah.
blame them, because it's something so unique and beautiful.
It's still incredible to me that it happens. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me that
It's something
that
like, I
people-
think it's a lesson for people, right? Find your passion. Find something that you enjoy, that
That's
you're
true.
passionate about.
and do it
and
because you're passionate about it, and then it's sort of
it will be successful.
yeah.
But it comes from the passion.
It does.
That makes it
yeah.
successful.
And I know when I do a few art shows a year, and I know when I'm getting ready for an art show, I sort of get into a thing where I feel like I have to produce for the art show, and when I start like making myself do things, it just doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like the things I create, and a lot of times I'll just cut them up and put them in my scrap bin, because
Wow.
it's just not, I think people can tell the difference if it's made from my heart or if it's just made to make money, and I don't want to do that. I want to make everything for me, and I think if I like it, that's great, and if somebody else likes it, that's great, and if they don't, that's fine too. I've gotten to that point where it doesn't matter to me if everybody likes it, but if somebody does, that's just great. If I'm at an art show and somebody comes into my booth and just goes like, oh wow, it's like, oh thank you. Like, even if they don't buy anything, it's just that they appreciate my work.
Right.
It means so much to me. Yeah.
We're coming up to the four corners of the river, which is, kind of the big...
This is it.
This is it.
They've done a lot of work
is
to it. It is beautiful.
My church, St. Luke's Anglican Church. It's a stunning little church. It really is.
I know,
and again, community.
Yeah. Oh, when Boyd's dad was alive, I know that he fixed up some of the windows and things like that in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've talked about your love of farming and your other hobbies, which I wouldn't really call hobbies because you're a professional. You sell your photography and your metal art, and you also give back to the community. You have a fundraiser coming up in 2 weeks called the Fightin' Phillies.
Yep.
And that comes from your own battle with gynecological cancer.
Right.
Tell me about that.
So I had cancer in 2010, a really rare form of gynecological cancer, like 1 in a million women, and blessed to still be here. I'm going into year 9 of remission, I guess you would call it. I don't know. I'm cancer-free anyway. Had the best team of doctors. And so that was in 2010, and so in late 2010, I started a Relay for Life team called the Fightin' Phillies. And we're still going strong. I think to date we've probably raised over $100,000
Wow.
for the Canadian Cancer Society for cancer research and support services. The Looney auction, which is coming up in 2 weeks, it's a dinner and a Looney auction. This is our 7th year for that, and to date, I think we've raised, just like in the last 6 years, we've raised just under $49,000 just in the Looney auction alone.
So $150,000 from
100,000, or just over 100,000 from just like we've done cookbooks and note cards and donations and but just from the Looney auction, it's just under 49,000 in the last 6 years. I think the first year was about, I want to say $3,800 that we raised, and then last year was just over $12,000, and that's in our small community of Burnt River.
Burnt River again.
Burnt River again, and it's such a small community, and we can do so well. It just amazes me. Everybody keeps saying you should get a bigger venue. You should go someplace else, and I think no. It works because it's a community effort, and it's the community spirit that I believe makes it work. I think that if we went somewhere else, it would sort of lose all the magic.
And Burnt River is a bit of a magical spot, right? Because
it is.
I mean, I grew up here, so I might be a little bit prejudiced, but it is a small, tight-knit community, and a lot of the people that were here when I grew up here have passed away, including my grandparents, etc. But the community here still sticks together and pulls together, and everyone helps each other out.
It's true.
Which is something that I think is unique to small communities.
I think it is, and I think that you have to work on keeping it that way. And I think that I love living here, love being here because of that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us and telling us your story. And if people want to order some of your metal art, what do they do?
All I have is a Facebook page right now, and my Facebook friends have helped me name it Handley Acres Custom Creations. So you can go to that, or email me at christina@christinahandley.com.
Thank you so much for being our first guest.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
Sunday
much.
Drive.
I'm really excited. I'm honored.
Me too.
Thank you.
I'm excited for people to get to meet you and get to know all that you do. So
thank you. Thank you.